Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Hey.
dun. Wait, did we start the show?
Well, kind
Oh,
of.
dude, you supposed to tell me? Well, okay. So what are you listening to? What's so important? What are you listening to that we got
I
this?
was listening to Black Sabbath.
Okay,
What are you listening to?
Black Sabbath. Okay, all right. I'm listening to Britney Spears.
But your Britney Spears is bleeding into my Black Sabbath.
You were hearing that?
A little.
That's okay. That's weird because your Black Sabbath was kind of bleeding into my Britney Spears.
Hmm.
You know what? I bet we know someone just twisted enough to put these two songs together.
I think you're right.
Maybe we should call him.
We should hit the right intro music button. That's why it's dangerously unprepared,
Oh my
baby.
goodness. God, we are on point today.
Oh, we're so on fire. That's what it's about. There's no preparation for this show. And that's why it is called Dangerously Unprepared. Welcome to Dangerously Unprepared.
No research.
No planning.
No reason we should be trusted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And that is the official start of the show. Hi. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I am Christian. That there's Andy. And together we make this Dangerously Unprepared. Hey, like, follow, share, and subscribe. Well, you can subscribe, I guess, on YouTube, but it doesn't cost you anything. So feel free to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hi, how's it going? trying to fix my camera again. Sorry. Hey, so listen, we were both just listening to some music, and music is I'd say one of our bigger passions.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Or
no, you're not wrong at all. I mean, I'm a musician. I've played in bands all my life.
Yeah.
So it's, music has always been sort of an escape a little bit for me.
Yeah.
So, went to concerts a lot when I was younger. That slowed down quite a bit since I got older. But I still love music as much as I did when I was younger, and most of my day is spent listening to music while I work. So, and I've curated these great playlists, but
are they only great to you, or you think everybody would?
They're only great to me. I know they're only great to me because it's weird. there's some.
You and your wife enjoy the same music?
To a point, to a degree. I think she likes a more targeted sect of music, and I'm a little wider in my spectrum.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm vast.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously I have huge ska and punk influences and rock and but yeah. And speaking of the best band in the world, next to one of the second best bands in the world. You can't really see it on my shirt, but seeing this beat.
Yeah. So in our previous form, we were more interview based, right? And I sent you some videos, and I'm like, you got to listen to these. Like, these are amazing. And I've been listening to this guy for years, right? And you, bless your heart, you're just like, I'm gonna reach out to this guy and see if he wants to talk. And
we meet him on the show,
right? And what we got, and I didn't know what to expect when we initially interviewed him. And again, I didn't know any of his backstory. Like, I just knew that he put together amazing mashups.
Yeah.
Right.
And not just the music, the videos as well.
Right. The video mash with his audio is an art form all in its own. And again, I'm probably gonna fanboy just as much as I did last time.
Oh no, we're both huge fans of this gentleman,
right? But I think we should start with what we brought into this, right?
Yeah. I think the first one that we jammed together.
Yeah.
Well, here it is itself. Let it explain itself. Wait for it. Dude, it's
so incredible, right? It's just we need to bring him in.
Yeah,
we need to get him in.
The gentleman we're speaking of is Mr. Bill McClintock. He is the maniacal master
of
of
mashups.
musical mashups, and we're gonna bring him into the studio now. And he's waiting in the background. There he
There he
is, Bill
is.
McClintock of
Yes.
Mcclintocksmashups, the master of musical mashups, maniacally marshmallows. I'm just trying to rhyme things now at this point with M's. Sir, thank you so much for coming back.
Yeah.
We were just so fanboying about you. To introduce you, and we were like, yeah, let's just bring him in so that way we're not total geekwads at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now you were on the other show that we don't speak of anymore because it brings
Apparently it's an
back
algorithm killer.
yeah,
Uh,
screws
which is
something up on
right.
YouTube and Facebook, so we don't mention it ever.
No, ever again.
Ever. Um,
But
but
how's life been since
yeah,
we had you on last?
It's been good. How long has it been? A couple years?
It's been a couple years. Yeah.
it's almost 3.
Has it been that
Um,
long? Wow. I didn't
yeah,
Yeah.
I got curious the other night after we confirmed everything, and I'm like, how long has it been? Yeah, it was it's like 2.5 years.
Wow.
26 mashups ago, I think.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Um,
About one a month. That sounds
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Now
Uh,
again, this is Bill McClintock. He is the mastermind behind Mcclintocksmashups. You can find that on YouTube. That's your main outlet, correct? Is
it is.
YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
A little bit on Facebook. Do you do any Instagram or anything like that? Or
a little bit. I mean, really, it just all links back to the YouTube channel. That's where everything is. That's the full length mashups. I post links to it just on Facebook on my main Facebook page. But again, all it does is take you right back to YouTube. You know?
right?
And
Okay.
let's not underplay this. Almost 500,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah. That's who I am. Mhm.
And
That's
you're
cool.
some of the I mean, obviously some of your mashups have gotten millions of views, right?
Mhm.
But most of them are in the 300 to 400,000 range, yeah?
Yeah, that's about average.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So that's
Dude,
cool. I
it's,
mean, I didn't.
Because that's it's just absolutely. I mean, how you not even at over like 500 million? I'm not sure
Right.
because every like, dude, I was showing a couple of these to people at work. They're like, "What is this? Where did you get this? What?" And I mean, they're just blown away. Not only again because of the musical genius of how you mix these, but then you're taking the videos and putting them together, and it is such an incredible art form of how you do it. I mean,
Thank you.
uh, what is the average? How long does it take to do the average combo here?
That's always a hard question to answer, and I get asked that all the time. It's because I get lost in it. I mean, I'm working on one now. Was working on it all day. I have no idea how many hours it was. And, some of that is actually adding new material to it, adding new stems. Some of it is just tweaking things. I mean, it's several hours.
Yeah.
Probably.
Is it like all of a sudden the wife comes in and goes, "Bill, it's Tuesday.
No,
You went down there Sunday." Yeah. So
you-
dinner's ready? Is that what you're saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least 20 hours, I would say, from start to finish. Some of that
Yeah.
time too is like figuring out what a good combination is going to be.
Yeah.
And that can take forever. You can go like days just sitting and trying something like this kind of works, but it's not good enough. Scratch
Yeah.
that, throw that out, and come up with something new. But once you have something, that's when it becomes a whole lot of fun because it's like it's like a puzzle, just trying to figure out how do I move these things around? How do I get this to sound as natural as possible, just to make it sound like a song? And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
always been my goal.
And okay, so now what was your first one that you did? Now, and I'm trying to remember back. I should have gone back and looked over our old interview because I'm probably going to repeat some of the old questions. But the first one you did was which one again?
That was Motley Crue and Steely Dan.
Yes. Okay.
So that
Now, where was it something for you? One of your classes or something? Because you're a music teacher, correct?
I am a music teacher. Yeah. Not really related to anything that I was like anything school wise, it's not really related to that. I just, I saw other people doing them, videos on YouTube of people doing mashups. And I figured that's something I wanted to do, and that I knew essentially how to do it, how to go about it just from my background in music technology. And, I mean, it was really kind of tedious at first because I didn't know what I was doing as far as which technology to use, like what the steps were going to be to do it. So I was kind of figure it out. I had a basic understanding, but it wasn't streamlined. And that just
Yeah.
took a while to kind of get. But I mean, from day one, I just loved the process of doing it, of just figuring it out like a puzzle, making it sound like a song, and taking songs that shouldn't go together, but musically they're compatible, and then it ends up being something really cool. And even though it's familiar material from two different songs, it sounds fresh and new, like you've never heard it that way before. And that just has
Yeah.
always fascinated me.
Yeah, I mean, and yes, the again, the things that should not work, you make work so incredibly well. I mean, again, well, Britney Spears and Black Sabbath, how that even got in, were you, like, just showering one day and you're like, "Mhm." Hell, oh my gosh, Sabbath, Ozzy, Britney, "Oh, I gotta get out of the shower, I gotta go make this." I
That's what
mean,
everyone wants it to be, and unfortunately, it's way more boring than that. It's like it really is. It's
trying
not
to
like
hype this
it's
up,
not
though.
like
Come
some
on,
kind
work
of
with me.
vision, like, oh yeah, these two artists, that kind of thing. It's key. So are the songs in the same key? Or
Right,
are they the same tempo? And that's where it's searching for two things. And if you can find two opposite genre songs in the same key, same tempo, and they're compatible, then that's where it is. And then it's not so much making it work as much as it just works naturally. And I feel like the less that I have to do, the better it is, because you're keeping the two songs as intact as possible, and it flows, and it's so natural, and it sounds like a song, but it's so hard to do that. Those are so few and far between to find
right.
combinations.
I
Have
mean,
you
so
ever have you ever started one and just realized that it wasn't working and you needed to pivot?
All the time, all the
Really?
time. I feel more so back when I was starting the first few years, not so much now. I can kind of tell right away that, like, nah, this is not, yeah, it's not going to work. I won't be able to develop it into a whole song, even though the
Sure.
verse is really cool. I can't, the chorus just it's not compatible. So I would
Yeah.
either throw in another song, and then I feel like that's, not cheating, but it's better if you could find two songs that are just so compatible and you don't have to do as much work. So
Right.
if not compatible enough, then I'll throw it out and back to the drawing board.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how often have you done that? I mean, have you been pretty fortunate to be like, "Oh, this is working okay?" I mean, obviously, there's always trial and error, but
Yeah, and it has gotten easier, and I feel like I spend less time now trying to find combinations. Also, it's there's more options just because of the way the technology has evolved. So there are apps that use AI to isolate vocals or to remove vocals,
Right.
and over the years, it's gotten way better.
yeah.
Where
Oh,
before,
yeah.
the only stuff that I would be able to put together was what I could find that was straight from the studio, and it was already either isolated or removed, and I didn't have to do that part of it. But now, with the technology being what it is, you can do a lot more. It's not perfect. It's not as good as I would like it to be, and I think it'll eventually get there in years to come. If I'm
Yeah.
doing this in years to come, I don't know, but that's making it easier and easier, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, and the way technology is advancing now, it should be just a few months and you'll probably be there. So,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
now, and yeah, you're talking about how you're using, they're using AI and whatnot. John Maddox from Creating Audio and Sound was on here, and he's actually been experimenting with using that because he does breakdowns of songs. So he'll take the tracks and then he gets them divided and bleeds in one at a time. And I think he's been using some AI to do some of that too. And it's just been really, I mean, the advances in music and editing and how you can blend things. Now, so you don't do any tweaking of the BPMs in the songs or anything like that? You're not,
Do. Yeah,
do you? Okay.
we do. Yeah, and you can stretch or shrink if you have a stem that's this long and you need it to be a little slower, then you can stretch it a bit, and that's going to slow down the tempo.
Mm.
You can see all these things visually when I'm working in my in Logic Pro. That's a digital audio workstation that I use. You can see each track. You can see where the beats are from the instrumental, and then where the rhythm is within the vocal, and how you can either stretch or shrink that just to make everything line up. And you can also drag individual notes. If one note is slightly early or slightly late, you can drag it left or right to compensate and make everything perfectly sync.
I think this is a good point to share another mashup.
Yeah. Let's break into another one here.
And this is going to be my choice. So, and
we have our favorites, by the way.
I'll explain why later. But here we go.
Yeah.
Videos. I love video.
Piercy's look too.
I know. It's the slow turn.
I'm so anticipating this.
Man. My goodness. My God. Oh my goodness. It's
okay.
It's just
then it just kicks.
So good.
All right. So let me ask how do you figure where to blend, like, Sade coming in to Stephen Piercy, the lead singer of Rat, and then bring her back out, but then bring her back in with that little extra chorus bit and stuff. I mean,
it's a great question.
How many times do you go back and forth on that?
I go as far as I can with the vocal, with Stephen Piercy's vocal, until I can't anymore. So like there's a part where it's not compatible anymore. The verse was fine. That's everything in there synced just perfectly.
Wow.
I was say you did not mess with any of that.
Not during the verse. During the pre-chorus I did. I had to do some pitch shifting there to make it fit with the chords. And luckily the technology was cooperating with me. Sometimes you do that and it's so obvious because it changes the timbre of the vocal, and that's just, it doesn't set. When it stops sounding natural, I'm like, I can't do it. I got to find some other way around it. But then the beginning of the chorus, the round and round part is in major, just for that chord, and that's not going to work for minor. What is it? D minor for the smooth operator. So that part wasn't compatible. So I brought in her vocals just for that part. But then the next part, well, love will find a way, just give it time. That goes back into minor. So that worked. I like that part, and back to smooth operator, and then just back and forth. And I love doing that anyway. Just the call and response thing.
Right. It's so good. And you mirror, and there's so many examples in your mashups where you just do this expertly.
No, thanks.
And we talked about this last time. This was the Huey Lewis and the News Metallica mashup, where you just put in that Hetfield, and it was timed so perfectly in the song in the break, and it was just like, and I do another podcast as well, and that's actually where I learned about you, was from one of my hosts on the other podcast. And when I shared that with her, she's just like, "Oh, that killed me at that point. Like that got me. That's where it got me." So I mean, it's because as you said, a lot of other people do this, but I don't think that they bring in all of the elements that you do. And it's and it's just so. And the reason I picked this one is because like I was a big Rat fan in high school. Like, so like I know the entire catalog, right? And that was my first introduction to you. Was I heard it round and round the grapevine?
Okay,
where you did Marvin Gaye and Rat, and that is like top tier, and it's in my playlist to this very day of like all other music, like, and it comes in maybe third or fourth in my full playlist. So I mean, it's just, I know it takes a long time for you to do this and to put it together, but it's so incredible. The end result is just amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that Rat and Marvin Gaye, that was the one that put me on the map. And that was really a needle in a haystack kind of a thing. Just how compatible those two were was just insane. And I didn't really appreciate it. That's a weird thing. I didn't realize it or appreciate it as much as I was putting it together. But but then afterwards, that was the one that blew up, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I did 20 before this; those were all good too. Like, what?
Right. Yeah.
But the more I listen to it, and the more I'm thinking, like, okay, this rhythm matches with this, and what's going on in the music. Like, they really sync up well. Like, and
Oh yeah.
that you just can't find that every time. There's no way to do that. Every once
Yeah.
in a while,
It's
yeah,
got a fluidity.
it
It
is.
flows, man.
Yeah, they
But
just sound like they belong.
again, I think it also just kind of depends on people. I mean, those two songs. I mean, one, it's very upbeat, and you're blending two different genres they're very both or I'm trying to describe or find the best word to describe the songs, but their energies are both very similar,
Yeah, the same
you know,
intensity level. Yeah,
and
exactly.
so yeah, you're bringing all that, and it just again, it's so fluid and so strong. I think that's what really caught it. And plus, when you hit the algorithm right, you hit the algorithm right, dude. And that I'm sure that probably had some play with it. But again, you blended two different generations.
Yeah,
And plus those are two generations that were huge into music. The 70s and the 80s, that was a huge, I mean, we were all very influential. Now I'm 60. I know Andy's a few years younger than me. How old are you?
45.
Okay. So you're younger than us. Um but by me a lot. I'm probably close to death. But I mean, I grew up with music. My mom was very much into music. She played the piano. We sang in choirs and things like that. I played trombone. I was always taught music. I was brought up with music, and I think that it was just those generations back in the day.
Yeah,
You know,
I did
we
too.
we were all very influenced by music, and then you hit that R&B, and then the rat and roll, man. I mean, it's two incredible areas of time that were heavily influenced by music. So I think that was a real plus for that one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I think this is a great segue into our next mashup.
Oh.
So we're talking about sort of bridging the gap between young and old. Let's
and,
do
and
that
and
with
just real quick for people who are not watching, we have Bill McClintock of McClintocksmashups. You can find him on YouTube, a little bit on Facebook and Instagram, but just go to YouTube, look for McClintocksmashups. He blends songs that shouldn't be blended together and makes magic. So here's another one right here.
case in point.
You might like-
I can't get over
Dude.
how well that works. Now,
And-
are you laughing at, like, are you grinning ear to ear when when this all mirrors up and you're just like, oh my goodness, I didn't think this was gonna fly, but it flew.
Pretty much. Yeah, and actually something interesting about this, I just published that to YouTube a couple months ago.
Huh?
I first started putting that together 5 years ago, maybe.
No.
It's been a long time. I think 2020, maybe 6 years ago.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it had been that long. So here's the story with that. On my Patreon, I will sometimes, I have a few like mashups that didn't make the cut. I'll
Yeah.
post those and like do a screen recording and kind of show the start of a mashup that I started to put together that I thought would work. And then I just, for whatever reason, decided I didn't like it. I didn't want to continue with it. And that was one of those.
Yeah.
And, and I
Wow.
put that on, and that was, again, 6 years ago. And somebody commented on it recently, maybe 3 or 4 months ago on Patreon, and it showed up in my notifications. And I said, wow, that's like, I forgot I even did this.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to it, and I don't know what it was at that time. I was like, this actually is not that bad. I think I could make a whole song with this. And I
Yeah,
don't remember what it was at the time that made me say like, nah, I'm just going to pass this up for now. I'm not really digging it, and just kind of go on and
Yeah.
try something else. But yeah, on a second listen years later, I was like, this is actually not too bad. I think
damn, I had something going here. What the hell happened?
What
Uh,
was it hard to push it to the finish to get it out the door at that point?
He pushed it
I
real
don't
good.
remember now because I actually had a good chunk of it done. It was, I had that intro. I think I changed the intro up a little bit, but as far as like where the verses were and that chorus, and
Yeah.
the thing that was hard about it was that the Salt and Pepper song, it wasn't a traditional like here's the verse, here's the chorus. It was a
Right.
rap, and there's no easy way to identify the form of it. Like this is
Sure.
an A section B, that kind of thing. So I really had to be creative and move some of the words around so that it fit the music. I had to change really subtle things in the music, just where some of like the hits were, whether they were on the beat or on the end of the beat.
Yeah.
Not it's not very noticeable, but so that it took some doing. That was one of those. I would not say it was a natural fit. I had to do some tweaking, but it was intact enough that everything was recognizable. And I think I feel like I made a pretty good use of space. And that's another thing is like where you have to find space within the music where you can put certain things.
Right.
Right.
Like Corey Taylor doing a grunt or
Yeah.
just right there, somewhere on a beat where there's just enough space for it to fit. And then that's another thing. It just musically, and it just flows so much better that way.
Now let me ask you this, because I mean, you've taken Salt and Pepper and then, have you ever had the artists actually reach out and go, "What the hell are you doing?" I mean, I mean, or has any of them like said, please don't do this to my song, or can you please do more of this, or
I've never had anything negative, as far as an artist reaching out and like her contacting me and saying like, this is stupid. Like, why are you doing this? That will come from the record labels, but they won't reach out. They'll just block your video on YouTube,
Sure.
take your video down on YouTube. And that's not really an artistic decision. This is my, my
Property.
copyrighted material decision, and you can't use it.
Yeah.
right.
And it's interesting because, certain record labels are supportive. I have
Right.
one record label. I've been asked by that label not to mention them by name, but they have been supportive with my work and helping promote it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I
And
mean, why wouldn't you? Because it's just supporting their albums, their artists,
and I feel like, yeah, and with the following that I have, I feel like that it can only help them to gain more exposure.
Right.
And introduce people to this artist they've never heard before and that they might want to learn more about and hear the original song and hear more songs by them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's another record company that's a complete opposite. Like they don't want you using their stuff.
Right.
That's their song. They own the rights to it. They don't want you using it, and they'll take it down. In fact, I had that happen very recently, and I got a copyright strike from YouTube from that.
Wow.
And that was
And
one of the videos I sent you,
yeah.
that you're probably going to show on here. It was the Black Sabbath and Queen mashup, and
Oh, yeah.
and that was when I was really proud of that. I thought it had a theme. It was a rock theme. Every song that I used had rock in it somewhere in the
Right.
title or in the lyrics, and I really liked it. But the company who owns Queen, We Will Rock You, they took it down. And I tried contacting them to see, leave the video down, that's fine. But if you could like I'm asking them to contact YouTube to remove the copyright strike, because if I get 3 of those in a 90-day period, I'm done. My channel is done and I can't get it back.
Right.
And no
Yeah.
response.
Welcome to the Random Christian. I mean, the
Yeah.
show we never speak of anymore.
Well, let's play a little bit of that one then. and
Let's be
see what
pissed off YouTube.
and see what happens to our YouTube.
Yeah. How can you not be happy with this?
I know.
Oh God, that's so perfect. It is so genius.
So at that point, are you like, and you have the 2 songs, and you're just like sitting there, like, does this need a little bit more? And then you're like, Def Leppard, let's get Def Leppard in there.
Yes, I never have a full vision of how I want it to end up as I'm starting. That just develops as I go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, We Will Rock You, obviously there is, for most of the song, there's no music to accompany it. It's just the stomp, stomp, clap with the vocals.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
That was a challenge too, is to find something that could house that vocal and make it sound like that's the way it should have been,
Right.
and Paranoid worked really well with that. But I wanted to add more to it. I didn't want it to be just a simple A, B. And really none of mine are just A, B. I always end up as I'm going, adding something here and there just to
Yeah.
make it. And it's the whole predictability thing. I like being unpredictable with them. And you get these surprises as you go in and as you're listening. And I think that's what keeps people listening from start to finish. Is just waiting for those Easter eggs and those things to pop up and guitar solo here or another song here and there. And I just, again, I don't conceive of that at the beginning. That just happens as I'm putting it together.
Right.
Yeah.
And please, anybody who's listening to this and you're digging it, go to McClintock's Mashups on YouTube. You also got a Patreon page, which I'm sure there's a lot more there for people to experience. But you got to hear. I mean, we're only playing part of it, and
Yeah.
there's so much more. Again, these little extras that you're not even getting the full spectrum of these of how fantastic he's matched these songs up together. And I mean, it's just so funny because like when Andy introduced me to these, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm listening and I'm digging it, and then I'm like, okay, then I go back and I'll listen later. I'm like, oh my god, when did that happen? Wait, and you just it's all these little extras because then I started listening to other mashups, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty good, whatever, and you are literally the maestro of these mashups, my man. It
Thank
is, again, like you said, you've got your little side bank here of things you're working on and whatnot that, maybe they ain't working at that time, but then you come back to it later, like the salt and pepper thing and Peppa. Sorry, I'm
Peppa.
trying to be
Yeah.
streetwise. And yeah, the classical white guy comes out at me. And you're like, hey, wait a minute. Now I've got something here, and then you start tooling around with it again, and boom, you're nailing it. So how many of these do you have in the bank that we haven't even heard yet?
Oh, geez. There's a lot. I mean,
You got like an
I can't even
Amazon
tell you.
data center blocked up somewhere or something, or
Maybe, I mean, there's I don't know, maybe a minute worth of music for each one. I don't. That's hard, but some of them were so obvious. Like, no, this is never going to happen.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, it's very rare that I put one aside and then come back to it and finish it years later, like that, like the salt and pepper. That never happens.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say how many starts I have. Maybe 20, 30, something like that are just kind of sitting. I don't
Wow.
know. Maybe there's
Yeah.
something there. It could be. Who knows?
now what's a match or a mashup, I guess, that you have just worked and worked and worked because you want it to work, but you just can't make it happen.
One that comes to mind is, well, I ended up using it. It was the Huey Lewis and Metallica. So it was that Metallica vocal, Enter Sandman. So it
Yeah.
was vocal again with what the heck is the song by the Silvers, I think, or the anyway, it's like a disco song. So it's not like Huey Lewis pop kind of stuff, but it was a disco one. Oh, Boogie Fever. Boogie Fever.
Okay. Yeah.
And it like kind of does, but it's not good enough. And it actually does the thing in like the same key change as the Enter Sandman, where it starts at like E minor and then goes up to F sharp minor for part of it. But for whatever reason, it's just not. And I've come back to it a few times over the years, thinking like maybe I'm just, but no, it doesn't. And that
Now,
happened.
But you keep trying, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
now, obviously you've talked a lot about songs being in the right key, the timing of the song and whatnot. Have you ever used one of your mashups as a music lesson in class, just showing the different parts of, hey, this is beats per minute, this is the key, this is how I knew this would work?
I did that. In fact, at the end of last school year, and the oldest that I teach is sixth grade. So I
Well,
actually did this
Jeez.
same lesson for fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, and it was funny what it was. Um, for a couple weeks, we were watching a video on different musical genres. So it went through like blues and classical and jazz and hip hop and country and reggae and all these different things, and just the different characteristics of them. And we talked about them and that kind of thing. And then after that video was over, I said, well, you remember the last couple of weeks we were watching this video and was talking about all these different genres. And I said, now we're going to look at two different genres today. One of them's going to be pop music. The other one's going to be metal. Okay. And I said, for pop music, who's ever heard of the Spice Girls before? And like, they're raising their hands and say,
Yeah.
we've heard of it. And so
It's
like,
my mom's favorite band.
yeah, right. And so we watched a little bit of the video for Wannabe, and they're all laughing like, because this is 90s and it's, so not what
Yeah.
they're seeing, but
Yeah.
so they were digging that. And then I said, okay, now we're going to talk about metal. We're going to look at this band called Slipknot.
Yeah.
Talk about Slipknot. And then, I have not told them at this point that they're going to be put together. They don't know
Right.
that. Right.
Yeah.
So we listened to Slipknot and, and some of them, I was surprised how into it they were,
Right. Yeah.
like these are little kids, and like the demographic that I teach, I would not expect them to be into Slipknot, and that they
Right.
were. And it's like, this is blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
Then I said, well, what do you think these two would sound like together? And they're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, watch this. So
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
Let me
put
just
the
tell you
video
that
on.
that's one of my favorite ones that you've done. And we played that
Yeah.
last time. We played it during the last podcast, and I've never and you sped up the vocals on the Slipknot because it sounds more like a rap, which was just like even that part of it was just like, oh my goodness, like it just the fact that you figured that out with Spice Girls of all
Right.
the music that you could find out there was just, you never expected those to ever come together in a way that it would work. And again, with Rap Marvin Gaye being number 4 in my playlist, typically the Spice Girls Slipknot ends up at number 9 or number 10, typically.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible.
And the great
but-
thing about this too is you are like you're dealing with your students. They've never heard these bands before,
Yeah.
but now they're being introduced. And kids who are like really into rap or maybe pop or something are hearing metal, and they're like, "Well, that's not so bad,"
Right.
And there's maybe kids who are, and I know it's out there. There's kids who are raised on metal or whatever, or punk or stuff or reggae, and they're hearing different versions, or they hear their grandparents listening to Marvin Gaye. And like, hey, wait, I
Right.
got a song for you, Grandpa. And
Yeah.
here we go. So it's it's great that because I think having it's cool to have a favorite musical genre, but to be able to be exposed to them all, the different forms of jazz, the different forms of blues, like you said, reggae, there's ska, there's punk, there's metal, there's hair band, there's rock, there's pop, hip hop, R&B, rap, everyone's like, oh no, these are all just, different. Yeah, they are, but they're so different. Each one of them are so different. And to hear the difference and then to have them combined together
Yeah.
from polar opposites all over, it's it's absolutely amazing. It's genius, and
Yeah.
and it's really informative. I think you
funny
open
too.
people's ears and eyes.
Yeah, and it's funny too because the building blocks of all those different genres are the same thing. It's a beat, it's a melody, and lyrics, right? And whatever instrument you use to get the melody, whatever instrument you use to get the beat, and then your lyrics on top of that. And again, it's you can use the same 3 instruments, play a reggae song, play a hip hop song, and that was one of the weird things that blew my mind one time. Is I think I was watching the MTV Music Awards, and the Beastie Boys got up, played Sabotage on instruments, right? And I had no idea that they played instruments, right? I just thought that they were the 3 white guys that rapped, right?
Yeah.
And they were okay. And it was just like, no, like it was a drums, bass, and guitar. And they played the song themselves. It was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that was, I was a musical kid to begin with. So That's sort of one of those moments that blew my mind. Now, has there you're a music teacher, so you have a wide sort of vast knowledge of music, right? You've heard a lot here and there. Has there ever been you started with one song in a mashup and brought in a song that you've never ever heard before, or do you have sort of some history with at least all the songs that you use?
Very rarely I'll use a song that I've never heard
Uh-huh.
before. The thing is too, I try as much as possible to use 2 songs that are widely known by a
Sure.
lot of different people, 'cause I mean, the magic is, you know this song, you know this song, you never thought these 2 were gonna go together, right?
Yeah.
But if you know this song and you don't really know this song, then it doesn't really have the same effect. The only time I would use a song that I'm not that familiar with is if I think the combination is so good and it's so transformative and I really like it, then I'll do that. And then one that comes to mind is I did the vocal from Kryptonite, and I use that because I found a really good isolated vocal, and I'm listening to it and I'm thinking like, this would sound really good over like a hip hop or R&B or like a funk kind of a thing, maybe disco, just because, and taking it instead of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, take that in half, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think it worked really well with that.
Yeah.
And then I started searching for music. I think I mean, I was searching a database by key and tempo, but I think the way that I came up with it was just on Apple Music and just going on like the funk station or the disco,
Wow.
forget what it was, and just literally just next song, next song, next song. As ridiculous as that sounds and as tedious and as like, as long as that could potentially take,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll find combinations that way. And that's how this one came up. It was a song by the People's Choice,
Huh?
uh, which I had never even heard of that group before.
Yeah.
I'm trying, the name of the song escapes me right now.
I was gonna
And I just
say,
called it Funk Tonight because it was like funk with kryptonite. Uh,
Yeah.
the group is People's Choice. It's not gonna come to me now, but anyway, the combination
Yeah.
was so good, and I'm like, "I don't care that I don't know this song, I don't care that most people are not gonna know this song, I think it's really good." In fact, Three Doors Down, they posted it on a link to it on their
No.
that time. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
That's
pretty
great.
cool. They thought it
Yeah.
was cool, so, you know.
So, so when you hear that song come on Apple Music, are you humming? Are you singing Kryptonite in your head?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Uh-huh, and then
All right.
I'll even be on the computer, and I'll have Apple Music playing, and then I'll have a separate app that I can just hit play with a
Yeah.
vocal and see if they sync up, and with this app, it's called the Amazing Slowdowner, and it's
Yeah.
got a weird, but you can adjust the tempo digitally
crazy
on it.
slow.
You can make it faster, you can make it slower, you can change the key higher and lower, and it's just a quick way to say, "Okay, this has some potential and this could possibly work." And then at that
Yeah.
point, then I'll export or import everything into Logic and then start moving everything around and see if I can and make a whole song out of it. But yeah, and I was like, this is incredible the way that these 2 go together and the way that it transforms Kryptonite. 'Cause I mean, to be honest, I was never into that song, but I
Yeah.
the vocal on its own, and I was like, "Well, what can I do with this?" And I really like the finished product of it.
Yeah. Well, let's dig into another mashup.
Yeah, dealer's choice. Yeah,
Literally, yes.
yeah. I was gonna say literally.
Literally, yes.
Now this is 3 different bands.
Yeah. So, and we mentioned
Oh
this
my
earlier.
god.
We mentioned this earlier in the podcast. Not only is the audio medley that you come up with, the melding of everything genius, but the video aspect of this as well. So tracking down some of these videos, and one that stands out too was the Feliz Navidad Van Halen mashup that you did,
Dude, that
where
was
that video
that
of
was
Van Halen that you
very
found
entertaining.
was where now do you have like a cheat code for finding some of these videos, or are you just scouring the internet for some of these?
It YouTube, again, everything that
Yeah,
it comes from there, and then you can download, there's websites where you can just copy and paste a link in and download it, and that's how
yeah.
I video.
Wow.
but it's funny because as huge as Van Halen was, it is hard to find any kind of good live footage of
Yeah.
any of their songs. I don't know why
True.
that is. It's so hard. There's so few videos of live performances that they've done
Yeah.
from the beginning, from the late 70s. They have music videos that they did for MTV, like Hot for Teacher or, any of those, and David Lee Roth solo stuff for MTV.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it just ended up being that was the one that I found that had the best video quality, because
Sure.
some of them were so grainy, it's like the quality's so low, but that one had good good video quality. And then I don't know, just seeing Dave as an older,
Yeah.
he's more advanced in years and doing that so long with Feliz
A little more
Navidad.
advanced than we ever needed to see, Dave.
It just made it funnier.
Literally, he's outperforming on stage with a cane now.
Which, you know what? There's so many of those on Instagram that come up in my feed, and it's like, dude, like what? I don't know what he's doing. Like
Yeah,
what?
it's like, dude, let it go.
Yeah, he just
Um,
can't. He just like he's just one of those people. He's gonna do it until he's dead. Like until he
Yeah.
can't possibly do it anymore. And
Yeah.
he loves it that much, and more power to him. But just the comments is just it's so brutal.
No,
Thank you
they're
for saying
scathing.
it.
Yeah.
yeah, and apparently he has very on nights and very off nights. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, well, but yeah, they're very, very few and far between, because I've been seeing a lot of the same clips I think you have.
Yeah,
And it's like the first one I saw, I was like, "What are you doing? What are you
yeah,
doing? Stop. Just stop. Say, I can't do this tonight." I mean, as a fan, if I was out there and I heard him doing that, I'd be like, "Okay, no, you're good. I do take my money. It's fine. You need it. Just let the other opening band come back on."
Yeah.
I mean, I feel so sorry for him.
I mean, I think he funds
Because
his
the
own.
guy was literally one of the best frontman of a rock band you
He
could
was, and
ever find.
widely regarded as the best. Like nobody, and I agree with that too. I totally think. I mean, there's nobody better for a frontman. You could say, okay, better vocalists, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
He fit with Van Halen. So I mean, nobody could have done a better job than him as far as fitting with that band. And,
Yeah. I
you know,
mean, Hagar did pretty good, but, that's as far as it goes.
I was just watching an interview with Alex Van Halen just yesterday, and somebody was interviewing him, and he said flat out that they did their best work with Dave, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
That's his opinion. I would agree too. I mean, they're younger. I mean, they have all these fresh ideas at that point, and at some point, it's just not going to be up to the same quality as it was back in the day. And he's
Yeah. Well, and he was sort of the standard that we held the rest of the iterations of Van Halen to afterwards, right? And no, it was funny. My freshman year at UC Santa Barbara, I took a music appreciation class, and the first 5 minutes of the class was the opening bars of the album, the 1978 self-titled Van Halen album. And my professor said, this right here changed music as we know it today.
Yep. If you're gonna look at an album, that is a pivotal album, because it truly, one, Eddie Van Halen used no effects. He had no wah-wah bar or anything. He used
Yeah.
everything. He's bended the strings himself. I mean, he tweaked the knobs and everything, but that was it. And he was the only one that knew how to get that sound.
right.
And it's just so amazing to see some of the interviews about how he developed it and the hours he would spend just tweaking back and forth. It's just like,
Yeah. Yeah,
he-
it's just so innovative. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
all his guitars were made by him. They were all Frankenstein guitars, is what he called them, or whatever, Franken guitars or whatever. And it's just pure genius.
yeah, he absolutely was. He's, probably my very. If I can only pick one rock guitarist to be my favorite, it would have to be him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like a
absolutely,
lot,
hands
but
down.
just everything. It's just
Hey,
like,
the funny thing, I don't know if you've heard the story, but Eddie actually started out playing drums.
if I know, actually, that sounds familiar. I probably read
He
that at some point.
he started playing drums, and to buy the drums, he had a paper route, so he was always out doing it. So Alex would go in and play the drums. So Eddie finally said, "Screw you, you're playing my drums all the time." He went and stole Alex's guitar and started playing that, and so they basically just swapped roles.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's, there's a big long story about it. And it's just it's just so funny. I mean, how about how his parents raised them, his dad was a jazz musician and stuff, and
Yeah.
classical pianist, and how they just absorbed music left and right. It's just insane.
So
But
this,
we're
yeah,
not here for that. We're here for more mashups
All right.
of
right,
Bill
and
McClintock and McClintock's mashups on YouTube. You can also find him on Patreon. The man is just pure genius. And Andy, I was I was going to say something a little bit earlier. We need
yeah,
to get John Maddox to break down one of
one of the
his
mashups.
mashups.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'm gonna try and get a hold of him and see if we can do that. Yeah, yeah. If you have, find creating audio and sound.
We'll send it
John,
to you. We'll send you
yeah,
the channel. Yeah.
he's on YouTube and everything, and he takes songs and totally breaks them down. And I mean, we get all geeky with it, so it's
Yeah.
very
So
very nerd fun music wise.
before we play another mashup, this question just came to me because we were talking about how much we love Van Halen and how great that initial album was. Is there any song that is sort of off limits that you're just like, I can't mess with that song, and that sort of sits in a little chest that you're never ever going to touch, or is everything fair game for you?
Pretty much everything's fair game. I mean, I think if you have a good enough sense of humor about it, and you know, I mean, there probably are some that I wouldn't touch. I would say Steely Dan, but I have done a couple of Steely Dan.
Yeah, right.
But most of that, like from the Asia album, and they're such masterpieces, and they're so musically complex, you would never be able to
I was
use.
gonna say that it'd
Yeah,
be real hard.
You couldn't. They're way too complex. But no, I mean, as long as the song is harmonically simple enough, the form is simple enough, I think pretty much anything's fair game. To be honest, yeah.
Now, have like your wife or your mom or dad or something been like, "Don't do that. Don't stop. No, don't. You're ruining that song
No,
for me at this point."
I don't run anything past anybody.
yeah,
Sometimes in the car, I'll just because I want to hear it because I'll hear it just either on my headphones or my AirPods, and I want to hear it just on like my car stereo too, just to hear like does it still sound good there? So
Right.
just
yeah,
driving like I'm driving my son to the track today, and I'm listening to one that I'm doing right now. And like, and you sometimes you'll hear things that you didn't hear through the headphones. Like, well, I could EQ this vocal a little differently, and
yeah.
it's helpful just to hear it on as many different sources as you can.
Right.
But yeah, and then sometimes I'll just for their opinion, I'll be like, yeah, because my son, he's 13 now, so he's starting to get more into music and making his own opinions on what he likes and doesn't like,
Nice.
that kind of thing. And sometimes I'll play them for my wife, just be like, yeah, check this out, that kind of thing. But not often. It pretty most of them are just me, and then they go straight to YouTube.
There you go.
Nice. All right.
And you
Let's
know what I also found was interesting, like just listening to this last song, all the little ambiances, I guess you can call them or whatever, of the vocals and stuff, the little or whatever, and you're just like, wow, okay. I always thought that was like a horns or something, and
Oh,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
all
You know
the
what
all these little just fill in things, and you're just like, oh,
what's
wow,
funny about that one real quick, I wanted to mention 'cause, it was Yes and the Daz Band and Dio, because Dio comes in later, for his vocal, Rainbow in the Dark, I think I used for that. Anyway,
yeah.
there's
and
that one
deal
little
for
instant
God's sakes,
where Devo comes in with a whip, whip
Yeah.
good, like
we're
that
big
thing.
good.
And I got at least a couple people who commented, and they said, like, on the thumbnail and in the description, you said that you used Dio's music, but then it was Devo. Like, dude, what are you doing? I'm thinking, did you watch the whole thing?
Did you
Yeah.
listen to the whole song? That's
I don't even know what to say to some people. It's unbelievable. Some of the comments
Yeah.
you get.
Yeah,
That's
because they lose interest or whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been guilty. I've fast forwarded a little bit because I want to catch where you're adding people in because I'm like like the Devo thing is like, oh, there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know And it's, or like if I'm showing somebody one of your songs and they're like, well, where is it? And hold on, just,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but, and that's the thing, like I said, you have to listen to the whole song to catch the pure genius of how you use each and every little bit.
Yeah.
Like you used, Def Leppard,
Yeah.
and that was why that's all it is. It's just that one little bit, but it works out so awesome.
Yeah, and it's
And
it's instantly recognizable. You know their vocals, the quality of their recording, and all that stuff. And I changed the tempo. I had to either slow down or speed up to make it fit the rhythm. But you know the song, you know the lyrics and the melody, that kind of thing. And when it hits you like that, you know it immediately. It's like it just has that effect, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
And now you said your son's getting into the music and stuff, and now do you have a favorite genre, by the way, or are you?
It depends. I mean, and it depends on what I'm doing. It depends because I'll go for long walks every morning, and I need something more upbeat. And I typically will have hair metal going. I made this whole
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
playlist. It's over 2,000 songs, which I didn't know I'd be able to find that many hair metal songs.
Yeah.
It's so cool because, like, on Apple Music, you find a band that you like, and you're adding all these songs, and then you scroll down to the bottom, and it has similar artists. You're
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I know this, but like I've never heard of this group. Like I wasn't familiar with Lillian Axe, and then I'm listening
Wow.
and like, oh, these songs are actually pretty cool. I like this.
Right.
And there's all these bands that I've maybe heard of, but not that familiar, or just haven't heard of at all. And I'm listening, like, this is awesome. And I
Yeah.
started Firehouse. I wasn't that familiar with them, and I love their sound.
No, Firehouse is great. That's one of those bands that like I
They're
this
a
is
guilty pleasure.
well,
Yeah.
and they came out right when I was taking guitar lessons. And so I told my teacher, who it was the epitome of like 80s hair metal gone wrong. Like it just like he just did not want to leave 80s hair metal, and he rode that all the way to the end. The late great Bruce Hawk, I love the guy, by the way. I brought in a CD and I said, you got to listen to this, and I want to learn the first 4 songs, right? And I was Firehouse's CD, and I took years and years of lessons with him, and every time I would bring in a CD, he was just like, you always pick like the next big artist to blow up, right? And that one broke my streak.
Oh no.
Because Firehouse never really hit.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh man, but it was just, yeah.
Oh, geez. But what I was gonna say is, I mean, your son obviously probably into a lot more modern music, I'm sure, or whatever. Or is he kind of old school, or
I mean, he's
because you've
still
obviously given him a lot of diversity in music.
I'm thinking for myself, like, for me, it wasn't until I was 14. That's when I started playing guitar as well at 14. And that's when it really took off for me, when I was finding music that I liked. So he's like just starting, but when he's in the car, it's all like, Hair Nation or Ozzy's Boneyard.
Nice.
Wow.
So he's hearing all that stuff, and he likes it, and he's musical, and he can, I was telling him how there's a tritone in this one Sabbath song called Zero the Hero, and he's like, yeah, I heard. He's like, yeah, I know what you mean. That's cool. Like, I didn't know
That's awesome.
because he's been taking piano lessons. He started guitar lessons a few months ago.
Wow.
He's getting it. Like, he's so shy about it, though. I never hear him playing anything. Like, he waits until nobody's home to play, and I don't know what it is. Like, but he enjoys it, and I'm sure he's doing well with it. If I can never overhear him playing anything,
Yeah.
He's so shy about it.
All right. Let's jump into another mashup.
Okay, I think we need to do
The one, yeah, Chris. This is yours.
Really.
this is the grand finale because it has the best band in the world in it. Get it, Donna.
Just
Oh,
it's just
so on many different levels.
it's so good. There's nothing else to say about it.
I mean, and again, Roxanne does work hard for the money because
She does.
she's a prostitute. The videos work so well.
And that's another thing I was going to say too, is that it's funny to see, like, you know, in the opening bit too, you see the police swaying to the Donna Summer like music, and it works. And it's just, it's so good.
Now, are you scouring these videos to find the right bits to blend in, or does it just kind of happen?
Yeah, typically I'll use more than one video for a given song. Like for the Donna Summer, there was that live performance and the music video for MTV, and just taking bits and pieces. And I don't know what drives that decision, whether to use just one video, like the same video for that given song for the whole thing, or to change it up. More often than not, I end up using more than one video, two, maybe even three, depending on what. And sometimes it's, you know, the live performance maybe doesn't have the camera on the singer for the part where I want it to be on the singer, so you can see them, you know, lip syncing to their song. And so you would have to use, you know, live performance for some of it, but then maybe find a different live performance or the music video, whatever it is. And I use multiple ones for the Police song as well. And I think that's another thing, just that variety and the surprise, and you know, it holds your attention a little bit more. And that's always a check, because I mean, the way that the people consume videos now is mostly Instagram and TikTok, and the short form stuff, and everything is just constant, like hit, instant gratification. So for what I mean, my medium is long form videos. So that's a big challenge, is holding people's attention and figuring out,
Right.
how am I going to have them
Yeah.
watch
Welcome to
this
our show.
entire thing?
Um,
So, yeah.
uh, but again, and that's why I keep reiterating, you have to watch the full thing. You just, you can't, you don't get it in just the first, 30 seconds of what you have to, because there's so many little, like you said, there's Easter eggs of little different things. And like you showed a clip of Stuart Copeland, the drummer for the Police, who is a genius, and we can't even start delving into that. But uh, he's sitting there and like he's rocking and he's moving in beat with the disco beat,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and Roxanne is typically not a very, it's rhythmically, it's Stewart, because he's the man.
Yeah.
But the way he plays, and then Sting's slower and Andy's more methodical rhythms and stuff on their guitars don't match what Stewart's doing, but yet it all works.
Yeah.
And then his actions are moving with the disco beat, and you don't expect that from that song. And
Right.
it's just great. It's I I swear, dude, we just geek out on these things, and
Yeah.
I
I'm
I
glad
love
you're
it.
digging it. That's really cool.
Hey, we're not the only ones, obviously. There's,
Yeah. Yeah.
500,000 some odd people that fully agree with us,
Yeah.
and hopefully many more after this. It is Bill
Yeah.
McClintock of McClintocksmashups on YouTube. You can also find his Patreon page, where you'll find even extra and more stuff that will just blow your mind. Um, is there now what do you got in the works? You got can you give us a little tease of anything you got in the work coming up?
I'm working on a couple right now. Um, One is a Rob Zombie and Bob Marley.
Oh
Those
my
are
God.
gonna go together, so that's pretty cool. And the one that I'm really digging, though, is one that, this is gonna go straight to Patreon, and I never do this. But the
Uh-huh.
reason why I'm doing it is because two of the bands that I'm featuring in it, both, AC/DC and Ted Nugent, their music is owned by the same record label that pulled my Queen and Black Sabbath video.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I need to wait for that copyright strike to expire first,
yeah.
because I don't want to have two copyright strikes at the same time, because then one,
Right.
and I'm done. So and there's still like 60 more days until that's going to
Wow.
expire. So that's going to go, at least for the time being, just on Patreon.
Nice.
I'm sure the people who support me on there will be happy for that, but
Yeah.
that's the way I'm gonna do it. And, eventually it should
And that's the
go on.
beauty of the Patreon page, is you only get that through there. So so go on there, support Bill on his Patreon page. Again, Bill McClintock, McClintocksmashups. Dude, you're just amazing. pure genius. Absolutely. I mean, again, we're huge fanboys of you, bro. And I think were we the first interview you ever did?
The first interview?
Yeah.
No, I did
Hey,
a
Gus.
few before. I don't know when the first one I did that was actually I did one that was not a video interview. It was done I think over maybe through Skype or something. I can't remember what it was. That was probably around 2019, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, in period, I haven't done one in a while. So you guys are the first one that I've done in a while. So it's nice to do another interview.
But we were the better one that
Oh,
out of all of them.
absolutely. You guys are great.
Damn it, Bill, work with me.
Bill,
Dude,
just to echo what Christian said again. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. We love everything that you do. I mean, you couldn't be more it's what makes it more cool is that you are a music teacher for elementary, middle school kids. I just think that's the most amazing part of this is that before I knew what you did, I didn't know what to expect. I expected maybe someone older that had a little more knowledge of music that was just literally doing this on the, as his thing. But just the fact that you're a music teacher, sharing this with kids, but then also doing this is just amazing. And I mean, dude, you're killing it in life right now.
Really nice.
again, we're
Thank
just
you.
big geek boys of Bill McClintock. And
Yeah.
man, yes, and listen, we'd love to have you back sometime. I mean, if you're ever interested and bored on a Friday afternoon, feel free, just pop in. I mean, God, I didn't even get to any of the topics that I wanted to just have fun with you with, but because I mean, we can't
This is
help
more
it.
interesting.
We get
This
so
is
absorbed in what you're doing and how
Yeah.
great it is.
No, that's I totally get it.
So, but yeah, dude, please just thank you.
Yeah.
That's all we
Yeah.
can really say.
My pleasure.
You're awesome and love what you do. Absolutely love it. The kids you work with got to be blessed to have somebody like you that could, because I can only imagine your music classes are just pure interesting.
We have fun. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and that's great, and that's how you teach.
Yeah.
You make it interesting, you make it fun, you make it creative, and that hooks them every time, bro. So thank you for doing that for our kids, man.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
But anyway, all right. Well, listen, we're gonna let you go. I know we've held on to you for quite some time, man. Thank you so much again.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill McClintock with McClintocksmashups. Find him on YouTube and Patreon. Sir, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.
You too.
Appreciate
Thank
you, my
you,
brother.
guys.
And so now it's just me and you, Andrew.
He's gone.
I know.
We lost him. We lost Bill.
He's gone. Yeah, I should not sing that song ever.
No.
And I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix our cameras here. So yeah, I mean, seriously, we could have gone for
No, again,
that's
he's
our
just
problem. That's our
he's
biggest
such
problem.
he's such a grounded, humble guy,
It's
you
just
know,
great.
and he puts all this work into this stuff and has figured out sort of the YouTube system to put two copyrighted songs together, sometimes even more, and to make it work. And it's just, I mean, I challenge people not to listen to his channel and not have a smile on their face.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's too, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I was showing it to guys at work and they're just getting blown away.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, that's going to do it for us, kids. We really appreciate you all being along with us. If you can, please like, follow, share us. YouTube. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio. We're all over the place. We try to be as available for you as we can be
As we can.
for us. But anyway, listen, we're gonna come back. We're gonna do it again. So appreciate you all being a part of this. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, Bill McClintock and Mcclintocksmashups, YouTube and Patreon. Go find it. Check them all out. They're fantastic. They're amazing. We're gonna take off. See you next time, kids. Again, I'm looking for the off button, but
You know what? You'll find it eventually.
Eventually it happens.
Right.
But
yeah.
we'll be back in a little while. Be good, kids. Peace.